Good morning, my fellow cryptocurrency enthusiasts. I'm Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin charts. So Bitcoin on the 4 hour. As you can see, we were looking at a back test of this horizontal old support, new resistance. Looks like we didn't have the strength to make all the way up there, which is that's clearly not a good sign. We have sold off from that point. Currently getting supported by this roughly 50,000, 49,500 K horizontal level that we've got. The mid part of this range also. But yeah, so I mean, we have to right, let me get my words out. Not being able to make this 52,000 back test is clearly a sign of weakness. But if we can hold this 49,500, turn this back around and start to try and make a push back to the upside, then yeah, I think we then have got a good shot of making this 52.5k back test, and then ultimately having to decide, do we have the strength to break through, or do we get rejected and then come back down to test the bottom of the range. So obviously it is the weekend, so we could have all sorts of shenanigans happen, but tentatively speaking, I would say this is not looking particularly good, but we are at an inverted commas inflection point, as we so often are, where basically at this level, we either hold this level, this 50,000. I mean, we're pretty much at the level now, so we've got to really call it what it is, 49,500. So we've got to hold 49,500. If we start closing 4-hour candles below it, then I would basically be looking for a move back down to potentially take out this low in that case, and then down to these 46, maybe even a 45 handle on price action. Conversely, if we do get supported, do bounce from this level, start to make some progress back to the upside, then yeah, I think especially once we take out this most recent high here, we can then look to try and push on into the 52,000s, and then decide, do we have what it takes to break back into this zone? Bearing in mind, if we do, it will all be happening at the weekend, and then I will pretty much be expecting a back test back below, and at that point we could then have a swing fairly basically above this resistance, and come back down and potentially even test this resistance and maybe even lose this test this support and maybe even lose this support. So yeah, we have got the first signs, obviously, of bearishness in this market with the past few days of price action. Obviously Bitcoin does make these moves and then does reverse. This is obviously a bit deeper than normal, but I mean that is still okay to happen. But we do need to be cognizant of the fact we could have some medium-term downtrend, and I'm not talking a long-term downtrend. I would class as a bear market. Medium-term downtrend I wouldn't class as a bear market at all. I would just class that as, well, medium-term, exactly what it says on the tin, medium-term downtrend, before finding a bottom, consolidating, and starting to move back up again to take out the highs. I definitely do not think we have seen the highs for Bitcoin. You can look at this and potentially see an ascending wedge. At which point we would actually have the target of basically the bottom level of it. So that would be, well, for all intensive purposes, we could pretty much call it this support. So it would not at all be out of the realms of possibility, normalcy for chart patterns, just reasonableness for us to come back down, take out this level this time, come into this zone, into this area, even if we don't fully tap 42k, but get down into the low 40s before consolidating and starting to move back up. That is on the cards. as I always say though, we just play it level by level. Do we hold 49.5? No. We'll probably come back down to this level. Do we hold this level? No, down to this level. But then do we hold 49.5? Yes. Then potentially come back up to here. Do we break this? Yes. Then back into here. Do we not break it? No. Then etc, etc, just level by level. And these are quite wide ranges, so there's quite, for you guys that are leverage trading the directional movement of BTC, there is clearly plenty of opportunity in that price action. So over to Ethereum Bitcoin are looking good on the basis we had a move, consolidation, move, and then are we just gonna have consolidation, or are we actually in a bull flag pennant, which this looks suspiciously like one. This is literally a picture perfect one, and that is not to say it's then guaranteed to play out as it could, not should. I won't use the word should, but as you may expect. But this is relatively picture perfect. But yeah, it is the weekend, so a breakout over the weekend. I mean, you know my feelings. We'll draw it in. I mean, this is one of the occasions I would suspect this is just going to break out of the pennant and continue trading sideways. That would be my guess. That would also not be a bad thing, because obviously that would mean we're not coming down, and not coming down is in this asset is not a bad thing. So yeah, we will draw it on though. We'll draw the bull flag and the target because it just looks so nice to draw these patterns on. But I'm expecting this to break above here and then move to this target. As much as I would love it to, as much as my I'd love it to, basically, that's not what I am expecting to happen. But what I expect to happen is relatively pointless. We just see what happens. But yeah, I mean, even just holding here, consolidating at this level, I think will be good, as long as it's going up and not going down. As long as it's not going down, then that's fine, be it sideways or up. Bitcoin dominance, yeah, as you can see, that did have a nice pullback. I mean, you can clearly see it is putting a bit more fight at this level than it has previously been. So yeah, I mean, do we continue to put up a fight here? Do we come and eventually pull back higher, or do we just do we just lose this trend line, this major trend line, fully and formally, and just just go into free fall? We shall see. There we have our 90 handle close for the DXY. Well, this is a particularly bearish close. We closed lower than these lows. We've obviously cleared lower than this horizontal. We're well clear of this level after back testing it twice, actually, coming back down lower. So yeah, I mean, this is looking particularly bearish. At the end of the day, nothing particularly bad is happening as a result of all the money printing in America in this immediate right now. So they are going to keep on doing what they are doing until the problems arise. So I mean, realistically, this is bearish for the dollar, which you guys always know is what I'm always basically saying, really, for the dollar. Even when we're down here, I was saying, look, basically any move we could probably expect to move up now into this area, which is literally what we got. Maybe went a little bit further than I thought it would. Not by much though, maybe by like $0.50, literally not much. I was kind of expecting up to around into this zone. We did move a bit higher, but yeah, now we've reversed, and I do expect this to come down and take out these lows and continue downwards. We can potentially draw a trend line in here. I do not realistically know how important it may be, but it is just a level that we may get a bit of a reaction at when we hit it. So we'll draw that in. Clearly not necessarily drawing exactly the best way it could be. Let's see if we move it down here. Maybe there's better. But yeah, we could get a bit of a reaction here, but I don't see this trend line holding, in all fairness. So yes. And we also have what looks to potentially be an ascending, a broadening wedge, as opposed to the descending broadening wedges that we often look at. An ascending broadening wedge, which could, is on the balance of probabilities a bearish pattern. But we've not tapped this or reacted off this trend line yet or got to it yet, so we can't really make too much of a judgment on that. Stock markets after Biden FUD, the Biden increased taxing on the wealthy FUD has recovered. So that is obviously good to see, because obviously these markets are all correlated. Silver having a bit of rejection at this horizontal, as you would potentially expect, so just has to consolidate under here and then try and break through and not reverse. Gold also having a bit of a wobble, obviously above this level, back testing into this support zone. It's quite a beefy support area, as you can see. Well, this is not necessarily a support area, this is kind of a target area, but it is kind of an area to hold to continue bullish. If we lose this area, lose this level here, then yes, we will potentially be coming back down again. I do not think, other than the stochastics for Bitcoin, there is too much else for us to look at on this fine morning. 4 hour turning up from a low level, but showing a bit of weakness, obviously, with this little move down under 50k that we've got at the moment. 10 hour, is it going to help us out? I do not understand why this one is the one that takes ages to load up. But yeah, 10 hour flip-flopping around at a low level. So if this does get going, if we do get, well, if we do basically get above, I would probably say like 51, then this will start to turn up and then potentially give us that momentum to at least get up to that 52 area and then decide what we want to do there. 12 hour, pretty deep. Losing a bit of its downward momentum, but still obviously pointing downwards, and daily the same, pointing downwards, losing a bit of its downward momentum. So he's definitely maybe looking like we are bearishly postured in these stochastics, and you can see the market is bearishly postured. You can see we pretty much just sat at the middle of this of the current range that we're in. Which is basically 46k to call it 52k. Sat at the middle, trying to get supported at the middle. If we do, yep, come and tap the top. Can we break it? Great. We'll just have to see if we do or not. That would be great if we do, though. Do we get rejected and come back down? If we do, then rejection, we'll target the midpoint. Break the midpoint, we'll target the slower point, and then potentially even break that. But yeah, levels by levels, guys. But yeah, that is it. Weekend action. Remember, I wouldn't look too much into it. I'll just expect just the usual weekend craziness, reversion to the mean. But yeah, that is it. Thank you for listening, guys. Hope you guys have all got great weekends planned, and I shall speak to you all soon.